So, there's a weird relationship that I'm learning about that I have with expectation. Not of others directly, but based on expectations that I have for myself that actually originated from the recognition of favorable traits by people that were exposed to me. It's weird, right? It's kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg type of question. First, by the way, this is the Truth Lies Here podcast, and I kind of just spilling. But yeah, as a kid, you kind of just doing stuff, right? You're not even really, I can't even say I recognize or remember being especially good at anything. I know there were things that I liked more than others, but I don't necessarily know whether that made my aptitude for those things recognizable at that age. But I think, or at least for me, I think that once people start telling you that you're good at certain things, or that you show like there's a light and there's potential for you to be great at something because it seems to come very easy to you. It makes you feel good because you're being recognized for doing something good, and a big part of it is that it seems like you're making someone else happy by being good at what that is. And I think that starts a relationship of, or at least a connection between being good and being liked or loved. Like, people get excited when you're good at stuff. And you recognize that, and it seems like they're excited about you as a person, or you can't really tell the difference. Whether it's you or the thing that you do good, you just know that it's smiles, laughs, hugs, and encouragement when you're doing something great. And that interaction, that relationship, that correlation between being good and being loved or liked, or being rewarded for being good versus not, is something that is kind of, it permeates throughout existence. Well, it permeates culture. Let's put it that way. I don't want to say existence because I'm sure that some things just are the way they are. But within my lifetime, and as a kid, you don't really know. It's not like you feel loved, and it's like knowing that there's air around. You're not really, at that age, you're just kind of like, unless there's something that you're lacking, like if you're lacking air because you grew up around a factory and it's always smoke, or, at those times you really only are cognizant of and appreciative of these things intrinsically if they're lacking. But if you have a certain level of sustenance, and including love and affection and comfort, those type of things, unless you're lacking it, you know that it's there, but it's not something that you're consciously appreciative of. You just expect it to be there because it's always there. Kind of part of the maturation process and exposure to situations where there is a lack of such things. But when it comes to favor or reward or love or like for aptitude, skill, just being good or great at something and being recognized and loved more, you understand that concept early, because you're not really celebrated if you're just average. Not purposely, but it's like, I think the people that are around you want to show you the difference from when you do good to when you're just there, right? It's a different level of engagement. And, to the more mature individuals that are around, they're just wanting you to be great. So they feel like, and by all means, they're encouraging you by showing you what happens when you are great. But, and not a negative, but I just understand now that it goes from just the knowledge that if I'm good, that I'm appreciated and loved and attended to a lot more, to where it becomes an expectation of myself and almost feels like, for me to get this thing that I feel like I need the extra, I need the adoration, it almost turns into, that's the benchmark. I can't just exist. I have to exist and be great at something, or else no one's going to celebrate me. And as you get older and, life is lifing, you start, or you begin to want to be loved just for who you are, not for how good you are at something. And so the struggle to deprogram or unlearn, or at least change the expectation that you have of love or favor or adoration, or just your relationship with what's worthy of those things, that's when it's first introduced. And again, it's a strange thing. And all I can say is this, to be honest. When I recognized that there was a conflict within me, and how even at this stage of life, I'm just now getting to the place where, not that I'm okay with mediocrity, but that the measure of someone's love for me shouldn't be of great I am at a thing. I mean, I want to be a good person, right? And a person liking me for who I am intrinsically, just the base model of me. That's important. But there's a lot that goes into the self-identifier of, am I worthy of love if I'm not doing these things? If there's no superlatives about me, am I worthy of somebody actually choosing me over somebody else who may be greater? Do I deserve to be ignored? These are questions that are, it seems philosophically that it would be easy to answer because, our existence validates us. But it's not what you're programmed at. Throughout life, you're not programmed that your existence outside of a birthday should be celebrated. Besides your parents and maybe your siblings, but how many people are being told every day, I'm just glad that you're alive? And it's not because of anything that you do for me or anything that I recognize in you. It's just that your existence matters to me. That's not something that's commonly said amongst people, unless you're talking about relatives. And even the phrase, I'm so proud of you. And again, this is all within me. I have children and I try to talk to them different, right? Because it seems natural and it seems harmless, but then now I'm at this age where I'm, grappling with the gravity of what that type of relationship and thought process is and how it affects your self-esteem on a regular basis. Because I'm not surrounded by a bunch of people who are telling me how great I am. So now my self-worth strictly comes from my idea and my self-identity and what I see about me and self-esteem and what makes me, to me, worthy of, Keith, you're a good guy. Or Keith, you're a guy. And it's celebrated that it should be, you should be glad that you exist. Just you, not because of anything that you do or you show or what you provide or the example that you set or any of those things, but your existence, your characteristics, all these things that are just intrinsic to you deserve to be appreciated and celebrated, regardless of the connotation that it can give or be characterized as. So I talk to my children different. Instead of telling them that I'm proud of them, I'm just happy for them. I love them no matter what they're doing. I want them to be happy. I want them to be healthy. I want them to self-determine what success is to them in their life. I don't want them to be trapped by this seemingly normalized behavior of this weird ranking or merit system. I don't want to say meritocracy because this is on a micro level, this is a human thing. You look at TV and you look at whoever gets the gold medal or whoever's the champion and all of these things, and there's all these celebrations, and rightfully so, right? But we all want that kind of love. Not necessarily fame, but just to be loved. And it's like you're not looking at the people in the crowd. You're looking at the people that are watching the show with you and how they adore those individuals or those athletes or those participants or those people that are great on the TV screen. You're looking at the people around you and how they celebrate those people, wondering, is that what I have to do to get celebrated by them that way? It's a weird question. It's something that I wish I didn't have to ask or answer. I don't know if I would be motivated to succeed if I wasn't chasing the acceptance or the love that comes with it. I would like to think that I would be, but who knows? So it's that hamster wheel. It's that which came first, the chicken or the egg? Like, are you going to be successful if there's no reward to it? If you're just going to maximize whatever it is that you have because you have it. And I think that's a quest for me. And it's something that, I hope to pass on to my kids, even at this more advanced stage of their life. They're not children. They're my babies, but they're adulting right now. And I want them to know that the fact that I have been blessed and I gifted the opportunity to be a part of their life, that I was able to contribute to them and their existence. They're the best in the world to me. I'll worry when they're sick. I'll worry when they're hurt. I'll worry when they need and they don't have. None of those things will go away, but they're fucking champions to me because they are, because they exist. I want them to know that. Everything else is icing. And, to me, it matters more that they're happy about their achievements than me. Because they matter to me because it matters to them, not because I need it to adore them. I don't want to celebrate them anymore because they've achieved a certain thing than when they didn't. Because at the end of the day, it's my son. My daughters, you can rattle off everything that a person has gone through and been through and achieved and lost and did all those things, that tally sheet. But when the tally sheet was blank, or before they existed and then they came into the world, that automatically put them at the highest level in my life. And I want that for them. I want them to recognize that within themselves and feel that way about themselves. And then just maximize the gifts that you have because you have them, not because of the favor that it may gain you. Know, or at least know that you're worthy of all those things, whether you're first place or not even in the game. You're worthy of being celebrated and loved and adored. And trying to do that for them and me at the same time, It's work, but it's worthy. And I'm on it. I'm sure there's more I could talk about with this, but for now, that's it. The truth lies here. I'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.